Good evening, dear friends. The world is finally quieting down, and the noise that filled the day slowly fades into the hush of night. Before you close your eyes, take a deep breath and remember that you are here, alive, held, and loved. This day may have felt long, heavy, or wild, yet beneath every hurried moment, God has been quietly walking beside you. He was there in your laughter and your weariness, in the words you shared, in the silence you carried. As the last light fades, gratitude begins its gentle work. We thank God not only for the blessings that made us smile, but for the people who helped us endure what we could not have faced alone. Some stood beside you in kindness, others simply prayed for you without ever saying a word. In their presence, you glimpsed the reflection of divine love, the truth that no believer walks alone. Tonight we pause not to escape life, but to see it more clearly. Every day leaves traces of grace if you know how to look. Perhaps it was in a friend's message, a stranger's patience, a small success, or even a quiet failure that taught you humility. All of it has been used by God to shape your soul a little more into His image. The Apostle Paul knew this rhythm well. When he wrote to the Romans, he did not only preach doctrine, he remembered names. He thanked those who shared his burdens, who worked beside him, who prayed when he was tired. He listed them with affection, because faith is never lived in isolation. Holiness grows best in community, in the unseen network of souls carrying one another toward heaven. Gratitude for others keeps the heart soft. It guards us from the loneliness that breeds cynicism and the pride that makes us believe we can do everything alone. If you let gratitude guide your thoughts tonight, you will see God's fingerprints in places you overlook during the day. Think of the one who made you smile, the one who forgave you, the one who challenged you to be better. Think even of those who hurt you, for through them you learned patience and the cost of mercy. Life, with all its thorns and blessings, becomes a school of grace when viewed through thanksgiving. Bishop Fulton Sheen once said that every disappointment either hardens us or sanctifies us. We cannot control what comes our way, but we can choose how we respond. Some react with bitterness and close their hearts. Others, wounded but trusting, open themselves to God and let sorrow turn into prayer. That is how faith matures, not through comfort, but through surrender. Perhaps this day has left you weary. Maybe you faced words that stung or plans that crumbled. Maybe you tried your best and still feel it wasn't enough. You are not alone in that feeling. The saints before you walked through the same shadows and found their way by faith. They learned that God's love is not proven by the absence of hardship, but by His presence within it. So as the night draws close, bring Him your disappointments. Lay them gently at His feet, not as complaints, but as offerings. Say, Lord, here is what I could not fix. Here is what I do not understand. I give it to you. In that act of release, something holy happens. Peace begins where control ends. The world teaches us to chase perfection, but the gospel teaches us to receive grace. Grace is not earned, it is given. It finds you when you least deserve it, forgives you when you cannot forgive yourself, and lifts you when your spirit has fallen beneath its own expectations. Every scar you carry can become a window for that grace to shine through. Now imagine yourself standing beneath a starlit sky. The air is cool, the world hushed. Somewhere in that quiet expanse, the same God who spoke galaxies into being listens to your smallest sigh. He knows the story behind every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered when no one heard. You are seen completely, tenderly, eternally. Let gratitude fill you, even if the day did not go as planned. Gratitude is not denial. It is faith that sees beyond frustration to the steady hand of God still working all things for good. Each trial is a lesson in trust. Each moment of joy is a reminder that heaven is not far away. Think again of St. Paul writing from prison, thanking his friends by name. Chains rattled around his wrists, yet his heart sang with praise. He did not thank God because his life was easy. He thanked Him because love had not left him. That is real faith, to be grateful not only for blessings, but within battles. So tonight, before rest claims you, whisper your own litany of gratitude. Name the people who lightened your burdens, the moments that proved God was near. And if all you can find to thank Him for is the breath in your lungs, start there. Gratitude once begun multiplies. You may not realize it, but even your weariness can become worship. When you choose to thank God at the end of a difficult day, you declare that hope is stronger than exhaustion. That act of thanksgiving draws you closer to the heart of Christ, who also ended his days in prayer, entrusting all to the Father. Close your eyes now and let this truth rest upon you. You have made it through this day, and grace carried you every step. You have been surrounded by mercy, even when you could not see it. And though you will sleep soon, heaven will not. The love that guarded you through sunlight will keep watch through the night. As you breathe out the worries that cling to you, breathe in his peace. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. The same God who brought you through today already holds tomorrow in his hands. Night deepens, and the quiet grows heavier, yet somehow softer too, like a blanket that tucks the world into rest. This is the hour when the soul starts to exhale. The noise of the day has faded, and only the echo of its lessons remains. You begin to realize that not every difficulty was punishment. Not every delay was neglect. Some were disguised blessings that slowed you down long enough to hear God speak. Gratitude opens the ears of the heart to those whispers. When St. Paul wrote his letter of thanks, he was not surrounded by luxury or leisure. He was worn, tested, misunderstood, and yet still grateful. The people he mentioned, friends, co-workers, those who served beside him, were proof that God rarely calls us to walk alone. The Christian life was never meant to be a solitary climb up a private mountain. We are meant to help each other rise, to carry one another's burdens, and to remind one another, when faith grows tired, that the story is not finished yet. Think of the faces that have crossed your path. Some stayed, others left, yet all were part of your story. Some brought light, others brought challenge. Both were instruments in God's hands shaping the person you have become. Gratitude is not blind to pain, it sees purpose in it. Every person who hurt you taught you to rely on God more deeply. Every person who loved you revealed a small reflection of his tenderness. Nothing is wasted when viewed through the lens of grace. When life feels too heavy, it's easy to close off, to protect your heart from being hurt again. But closing off from people can also close off the channels through which God sends his comfort. Faith invites you to stay open, to love again, to forgive again, to trust again. The same God who sends companions into your journey will also send strength through them. Sometimes his mercy wears a human face. In a world that teaches self-sufficiency, humility is a quiet revolution. It takes courage to admit that you need others. But that humility draws heaven near. When you receive help with a grateful heart, you honor the giver as much as the gift. Gratitude is the language of heaven. It turns human love into divine grace. Bishop Fulton Sheen once said that disappointment can either harden or sanctify the heart. How often do we let frustration build walls inside us? We replay the moments that hurt, the words that wounded, the doors that closed. Yet God uses those very experiences to deepen our roots. Faith that has never been disappointed remains shallow. It's through trial that trust becomes real. The heart that has wrestled with pain and still chooses gratitude learns the secret of peace. It learns to see beyond what is lost to what can still be given. Maybe tonight you find yourself disappointed by someone, by circumstances, maybe even by yourself. But take comfort. God is not measuring your worth by your success. He measures it by your willingness to keep trying, to keep trusting. Even when faith feels fragile, gratitude keeps it alive. When you say, "Thank you, Lord," there's see-through tears. You are proclaiming that hope still reigns over despair. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it transforms it. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what remains. You start to see blessings hidden in the ordinary. A quiet home, a loyal friend, a prayer that steadied you when you didn't realize you were praying. Each one is a reminder that you are still surrounded by grace. Sometimes God allows loss so that we may rediscover love. Sometimes he takes away what we cling to, not to punish us, but to free us. Gratitude in loss doesn't make sense until you realize that heaven's arithmetic is different. In God's economy, nothing surrendered is ever wasted. He multiplies what you give and fills the empty places with himself. If you close your eyes now and think back over this day, you might see it differently. The interruptions that frustrated you might have been divine delays protecting you. The kindness of a stranger might have been an angel unaware. The weariness you feel might simply be your soul saying, I gave all I could, and God saw it. Gratitude redeems the hours. Every night is a chance to start over. You are not defined by what went wrong, but by the one who remains faithful despite it all. Let gratitude be the key that unlocks tomorrow's hope. When you rest in thankfulness, even your dreams become prayers. Consider this. Paul thanked God for people who stood beside him, but also for those who opposed him, for they strengthened his perseverance. He learned to see God's hand even in opposition. It takes spiritual maturity to bless what once wounded you. Yet when you do, bitterness loses its grip. The heart that forgives begins to breathe again. In your own life, there may be people who have caused you pain. Tonight, name them quietly before God, not in anger, but in release. Say, Lord, bless them. That act of forgiveness is not weakness, it is freedom. The moment you bless those who hurt you, the weight they left on your soul begins to lift. And in that freedom, gratitude flourishes. You start to thank God for the resilience He built in you, for the compassion born from your suffering, for the deeper faith that trials produced. Gratitude is the soil where peace grows. As you sit in the dim glow of evening, think of the people who make life bearable, the ones who answer when you call, who pray for you without you asking, who see the best in you when you cannot. These are living reminders that God is present in human love. Let them know you're thankful. Gratitude unspoken is like a candle unlit. It holds potential, but its warmth is never felt. Take one more slow breath. Let your shoulders relax, your thoughts settle. The same God who filled your day with lessons now fills your night with rest. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, but also new chances to love. And if anxiety stirs as you think of what lies ahead, remember this. Faith is not built on having all the answers. It is built on knowing who walks beside you. Gratitude keeps that awareness alive. It whispers in the dark, I am not alone, and I never was. Sleep tonight with a heart that thanks instead of questions. God is still writing your story, and gratitude is the ink that keeps hope alive between the lines. The night deepens and quiet lingers like a soft hymn over the earth. The world outside is finally still, but within, your thoughts keep moving, tracing the day's journey, the laughter, the disappointments, the people who passed through it. As you breathe slowly, something begins to shift inside you. The rush of the day falls away, and you begin to notice what remains when everything else fades. Love, grace, and the steady heartbeat of God's presence. Faith, when lived deeply, is rarely dramatic. It is often quiet, unseen, built from choices that go unnoticed by others. It is in the words you chose not to say, in the patience you offered when irritation was easier, in the prayers whispered for someone who will never know. Each act, however small, is a stone laid in the invisible foundation of heaven's kingdom. Gratitude is the mortar that binds them all together. St. Paul knew the secret of that invisible kingdom. When he spoke of his companions in faith, he wasn't merely listing names. He was naming love itself, living proof that grace multiplies when shared. The church he wrote to wasn't perfect. It had divisions, struggles, and doubts. Yet it was united by something stronger than fear, the conviction that Christ had bound them together for a purpose greater than their own comfort. That same purpose holds true tonight. You are part of that same communion of souls, the living, the departed, the saints in glory, and the souls still being purified in God's mercy. We are one family under heaven, joined not by perfection, but by prayer. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, you strengthen that communion. Every time you offer compassion to someone in pain, you echo the mercy that once found you. The heart that learns gratitude never remains bitter for long. Bitterness dries the soul. Gratitude waters it back to life. When you begin to thank God for even the small things, your breath, your shelter, your faith that endured another day, you invite joy to return. It does not matter how heavy the burdens were today. Joy begins wherever thanksgiving is spoken sincerely. Bishop Sheen's words still echo through this reflection. Disappointment can make you cynical, or it can make you religious. That choice is presented every day. Life will always bring both sweetness and sorrow, and your heart decides what to do with each. Will you let sorrow harden you, or will you let it break you open so that grace can enter? The saints chose the latter. and that is why their peace outlived their suffering. Consider the people who have walked with you through difficult seasons. Some carried your cross when you could no longer bear it. Others simply stayed nearby, their presence a quiet strength. Such friends are rare and sacred. They are God's response to your unspoken prayers, evidence that His care often comes wrapped in human form. If you still carry pain from those who failed you, balance it by remembering those who stayed. Love outweighs betrayal when you choose to remember rightly. And if loneliness whispers tonight, if you feel unseen or forgotten, know that heaven's company surrounds you. Angels keep vigil as you rest. The souls you've prayed for pray in return for you. The saints who endured darkness walk beside you, unseen but near. Faith unites what distance separates. The communion of saints is not a metaphor. It is reality woven through every breath of prayer. Sometimes the hardest gratitude is gratitude in waiting, when you thank God for answers you cannot yet see. That is where trust is born. True gratitude doesn't depend on circumstance. It flows from confidence in God's goodness. Even when life feels uncertain, you can still say, "Lord, I thank you because you are still God." Such faith confounds fear. It transforms worry into worship. As you prepare for sleep, think of the saints who have gone before us, the ones whose lives were filled with struggle yet ended in praise. They remind us that holiness is not found in a life without pain, but in the way one loves through pain. Every trial, when embraced with trust, becomes a prayer without words. Gratitude is what keeps that prayer alive through every season. There is beauty in recognizing that every soul you meet is a teacher. The joyful teach you how to rejoice. The suffering teach you compassion. The difficult teach you patience. Even the people who seem to oppose you remind you to anchor yourself in peace that does not depend on approval. The more you learn to thank God for them, the freer your heart becomes. Faith is a shared journey, and gratitude is its compass. It points you back to the truth that God is not only in the victories, but in the struggles. When you stumble, grace reaches down. When you succeed, humility lifts your eyes back to heaven. Gratitude balances both. It teaches you to stay small in triumph and hopeful in trial. There is a strange peace that comes when you realize you don't have to understand everything to rest in God's plan. Tonight is one of those nights. The questions of the heart may remain unanswered, but peace comes not from knowing the future. It comes from knowing the one who holds it. Gratitude grows best in mystery because it trusts that even in the unknown, God is good. If you are weary, remember that rest is not idleness. It is surrender. To rest in God's care is to say, "I trust you enough to stop striving." As you prepare for rest, imagine Christ beside you, His eyes gentle, His hands extended, saying, "Peace be with you." That peace is not temporary. It is His presence, wrapping itself around your restless thoughts. Before you close your eyes, whisper this prayer. Thank you, Lord, for all that was, all that is, and all that will be. I may not see the full picture, but I trust the artist who paints it. When you say those words, heaven leans closer. Angels record every sincere act of trust as a song before God's throne. The night now holds you in sacred stillness. You have prayed with Paul, learned from Sheen, and sat in the quiet company of saints. Gratitude has softened your heart, faith has calmed your spirit, and hope, faint but steady, has begun to rise again. The night is now deep, and a calm silence fills the air. It feels as though heaven itself has bent low to listen. The candles of thought burn slower now, softer, more golden, like the final embers of a long day that has given all it could. The soul begins to settle, not in exhaustion, but in peace. There is a sacred quiet that only arrives when gratitude has done its full work. You have walked through reflection and remembrance, through gratitude and surrender. Now you arrive here at the edge of rest, where faith and love meet in silence. The body may be tired, but the spirit is awake, aware of the gentle rhythm of grace that has carried you from sunrise to this very hour. And beneath every breath, a truth hums steadily. You were never alone. Paul's voice still echoes through time, his words of affection for the companions who stood by him, his reminders that the gospel spreads not by single heroes, but by communities of faith, each soul adding its light to another. You too are part of that chain of grace stretching through centuries. Every prayer you whisper tonight strengthens someone else. Every act of love you gave today, even unnoticed, became a thread in the divine tapestry God is weaving across time. Gratitude at its deepest becomes something more than thankfulness. It becomes communion. To be grateful is to recognize that your life is bound up with others, that every good you have received carries someone else's fingerprints. Parents who sacrificed, friends who believed, strangers who offered kindness when you needed it most. Each one an instrument of God's care. When you trace your blessings back far enough, you always find His hand at the beginning. The human heart, when left to itself, tends to forget. It drifts toward complaint, toward comparison, toward worry. But gratitude draws it back to the center. It quiets the noise of not enough and opens the eyes to more than I deserve. Even now, at the end of this day, you are surrounded by abundance. Breath in your lungs, warmth around you, faith still flickering no matter how weary you feel. That is grace, pure and simple. When Bishop Fulton Sheen spoke of disappointment, he wasn't condemning sorrow. He was pointing toward redemption. Every heart knows disappointment, the job that failed, the friendship that faded, the prayer that seems unanswered. Yet Sheen reminds us that these moments are crossroads. They can drive us into bitterness or lift us into belief. Religion, in its truest form, is not an escape from pain, but a way through it. It is the surrender that says, even in this, God is working. If you look back now on all the disappointments that once broke your heart, perhaps you can see what they built instead. The faith you have today was forged in those fires. The compassion you offer others was born from your own wounds. What once felt like loss may now be your greatest source of wisdom. Gratitude doesn't erase the past, it transfigures it. So tonight, let the tears that may fall be holy. Let the ache in your heart be an altar where you meet God again. Say, thank you, Lord, for not giving up on me, even when I doubted you. Thank you for the lessons hidden in hardship, for the mercy that never ran out. There is beauty in that kind of prayer, raw, honest, and real. Heaven receives it as music. You have seen through these reflections that life is not about avoiding pain, but finding God's presence within it. That presence is what makes every moment, joyful or sorrowful, sacred. Every breath you take in faith becomes part of a greater act of worship. Every act of kindness you give becomes a ripple that moves unseen through eternity. And every night you end with gratitude becomes a bridge that leads you into tomorrow's hope. As you prepare to rest, imagine Christ standing beside your bed. His hand extended not in demand but in blessing. His eyes hold no judgment, only love that understands. He knows every burden you carry today, every thought you kept hidden, every fear you refused to speak aloud. And still, He smiles. Because to Him, your effort matters more than your success. Your willingness to love matters more than how perfect your love was. The angels who have watched over you since dawn now draw nearer, wrapping the night in quiet protection. The souls you've prayed for in purgatory whisper prayers in return for you. The communion of saints hums softly in the unseen air, their faith and yours entwined in one eternal hymn. Heaven and earth are not as far apart as they seem. They meet in this silence where you and God speak without words. If you listen closely, gratitude has a sound. It's the gentle rhythm of peace replacing anxiety, forgiveness softening resentment, trust silencing fear. That is the melody heaven loves most. It's what turns ordinary nights into sacred ones. Tomorrow will come, and with it, new challenges. But you will not face them as you were yesterday. Gratitude has changed you, even if only a little. It has turned your gaze from what is missing to what is present, from what has ended to what is eternal. Faith has deepened roots tonight. Hope has drawn breath again. So rest, beloved soul. Rest not in exhaustion, but in completion. You have prayed, you have remembered, you have given thanks. Let peace now take over where effort ends. Close your eyes knowing that the God who watched you rise this morning will still be here when you wake again. Before you drift to sleep, whisper one final prayer. Lord, into your hands I place this day. I give you my gratitude for the good, my trust for the uncertain, and my love for all that is to come. Heaven bends to hear those words. Angels echo them upward, and the Father receives them as incense of the heart. In this moment, all is still. The stars keep their silent watch. The world exhales, and grace settles upon you like dew on quiet fields. You are safe, you are loved, and you are held in the embrace of a mercy that never sleeps. If this night's reflection has brought you peace, let that peace flow forward. Like this video so that others may find rest in God's love. Share it with someone who needs to remember they are not alone. Subscribe to stay close to this family of prayer, and in the comments below, write your own thanksgiving so that our prayers may rise together as one. May the Sacred Heart of Jesus guard your dreams. May Our Lady keep you under her mantle, and may the dawn find you renewed in faith and filled with quiet joy.